That's what makes this show so valuable.
Yeah, we're not just spewing stuff that we off the top of our head. We're bringing guys in that are smarter than us.
Consider us as your real estate concierge.
Call me all things real estate, credit, refinancing, buying a house.
And now, the show that gives you the latest and most relevant housing market news. Real Estate Radio Boston with financial expert Rick Shearer and legal professional Ali Alavi.
Listen, without further ado, I want to welcome in Erica Wallace from Wallace Consulting Group. Hey, Erica.
This week we're looking at an app that we're probably all familiar with, Trulia's app. It's a real estate search app, and it's one of the big guys. It's been one of the top-rated apps for a while. They have just launched a major redesign for both Apple and Android. They made it easier for users to search for properties and to save properties. They've made photography the center stage, which I think is a trend we've been seeing in some of the other apps like Estately. And they made it much easier to get information on neighborhoods and added an amenities tab that syncs with Yelp. So you're able to see restaurants, grocery stores, gas stations nearby. Just a much smoother experience, and I think it's going to be a big competitor for the other apps we've been talking about.
And how about sort of scheduled open houses? Can you also go to Trulia and find out if they're already...
You can.
Okay.
They have an open house section. You can search just by open houses. They have home alerts that'll notify you of brand new listings that meet your criteria, and they also will let you know anytime those homes have a price change or go under agreement.
If I have a particular property and I want to bring it to market, why not bring it to the public market and get the full sort of marketing exposure? Why would I bring it to you for you to be able to and have access to that private network?
The clients that we deal with, our client base that are looking to buy, they're not looking to steal stuff. And it's even though it's not on the market, we're not just bringing it to one client. We're bringing it to 10, 15 of our clients. And so there is some sort of competitive aspect to it. Why someone would choose not to bring something to the market is really the seller's preference. As I said, sometimes they don't want to bother the tenants. Other times they don't want to advertise that they are selling their property.
Sure.
And as long as, and again, as I just alluded to, most sellers are pretty experienced. So they know what the number is that they want. They have a pretty good understanding of what their property is worth. And so if we don't have to go through the entire full marketing engagement, we can offer them a discounted fee because we're not spending a lot of money.
The difference there, too, is I think when people are buying investment property, it's no longer an emotional decision. Like when someone's buying...
That's exactly why I like doing
it. Like, listen, when we were house hunting, I got my wife on my right, and if she falls in love with something, we might pay extra for it. But when you're buying an investment property, it's all mathematics. It's economics.
It's perceived future value, too. There is a little bit of emotional. Some people will overpay for a trophy property in the Back Bay,
right?
But other times, it really has to make sense to them.
Is this new construction and the sort of the prospects of having new supply come into the market, is that going to have an impact, do you think?
Yes. What it does is the cost of developing new product in the city right now is so high that existing product can catch up. So if you have properties being underwritten at $5 a square foot a month on rent, those are for the new buildings being built, and you have existing product that's renting out for $250 a foot, it's not going to be as nice as that $5 a square foot product, but you still have, another $2.50 to catch up. So people are raising rents.
Gotcha.
So you're seeing existing product rent now for $3 a foot.
As a seller of a property, if I'm relying on, sort of non-expert third-party information provider, I call that neighbors and family, that says how much my house is worth, what advice do you have for them there, Paul?
Take the advice of a professional. A trained professional is going to tell you facts and not only just an opinion from either a website or an emotional opinion. And a house is only worth what other properties that are similar in a certain area are being sold for.
Now, let's say that sort of, Paul, you evaluated that this particular individual is underwater, can't afford the mortgage, or there isn't enough equity to support the sale of the property in the more conventional route. Gabe, why don't you tell us a little bit about the short sale process?
The short sale process is reverse underwriting. It's all it is. So you're going to provide the same kind of information that you provided when you got the mortgage in the first place. In dealing with multiple lien holders, you're only putting together another package for the other lien holder.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're a real estate agent out there and don't understand or don't want to battle through the short sale process, you work with real estate agents to work with them through the process, and you get paid by the lender.
The lender pays us.
So you're essentially a free service to real estate agents out there and people who are looking to short sale their home. If they have an agent, if you currently have an agent and it's not going well, you should encourage your agent to give you a call as well. I mean, you deal with a ton of real estate agents.
Yeah, absolutely. We at this point, I think we're dealing with probably 80 or 90 different real estate agents from different brokerages all across the state.
Well, that's great.
The value of the service really is that we make it so much simpler for the real estate agent. Real estate agents don't specialize in dealing with the lender. We do that. And then the real estate agent can really focus on the real work, which is getting an offer and getting the property sold and, moving forward and helping that customer move on from the real estate side.
Some of the more common things, Richard, that you and I deal with, I mean, it's not as prevalent and common, but it does come up on real estate transactions, is these boundary disputes. Give us a little bit background what a boundary dispute is and how does one go about resolving it?
Yeah, so boundary disputes come up with they're pretty frequently, more than people expect, actually. And, they can range anywhere from, in the classic example, if you're in Southie, the lots are very tight and you build a garden and the next thing you know, it's over the property line. Or someone else's shed is over your property line. It's been there for over 20 years. In the suburbs, what happens a lot is, there's open area between two properties and another neighbor's been mowing the lawn or maybe erected a fence or a wall or something like that. The longer the encroachment's been there, the more problematic it can become for the landowner.
So really, we're talking about the fact that the property that I thought was mine is actually encroaching or intruding on someone else's property, or vice versa.
Or vice versa. I always recommend a plot plan, which runs about $125. A plot plan, it's not 100% accurate, but at least it'll give you the general layout of the lot and should identify or at least flag any buildings or outbuildings that are right up against the lot line. And I always tell the clients, take that plot plan and go out to the property and actually walk the land. You'd be surprised how many people, they're very concerned about the home and the inside of the home, but they don't actually go outside the home and walk the land.
That is great advice.
Yeah.
And because remember, buyers, the due diligence, the duty of due diligence falls on your shoulder.
Right.
So if you get that plot plan and there's something there that's awfully close, that's a fantastic advice, Richard, to be able to get out there and walk the land.